It's the final championship game of the 2018 Gobbler Invitational here on Youth Hockey Hub, presented by Paradise Rinks. It's the Bantam B Championship, pitting the Edina Green squad, the Hornets, against Minnetonka and the Skippers. Minnetonka coming in at 2-1-1 in the tournament. Edina Green coming in at 3-0-1. These two teams, Edina Green finishing up with the top point total here in this tournament. Minnetonka tied with Osseo Maple Grove, Stillwater, and Edina White, but winning their way here by virtue of a 4-1 victory over Edina White, who had allowed just 5 goals in their first 3 games. Minnetonka pops them for 4, and now they're in the championship of this tournament. They were the champions last year. Not all of the same guys, but at the Bantam B level, it was Minnetonka who took home the Gobbler Invitational. Quentin Kurgan looking in front as this draw is taken and won by Ty Bang for Edina. And in the first 10 minutes, Edina working in white and green. Very familiar colors to youth hockey fans around the state of Minnesota. As we're here in Bloomington, Minnesota at the Bloomington Ice Garden. We get a penalty right in the first 16 seconds of this one. And it will be on Minnetonka. And quickly, Leo Berger will sit down. Bloomington Ice Gardens, rink number 1 here. With fans from Minnetonka and Edina dotting the far side stands. This Edina team comes in now on the power play, averaging 2.5 goals per game. 10 goals scored in the tournament to the 15 put up by Minnetonka. As the puck sprung out of the corner, off the draw. 5-on-4 hockey right now for Edina. With the edge as Danny Marshall holds it in. A little ticker tape pass to the far side. And a sweeping shot goes wide off the stick of Colin Dorsey. Still pressure and possession. Marshall holds it in. He fires a long one from the blue line. Backhanded scoop by Dorsey was right down in the crease and swept away defensively by Minnetonka. Tommy Lurie kept it from being 1-0 there early. So there's actually 2 Minnetonka players in the box, but it is 5-on-4. And we've got another minute 30 to go. So it's 5-on-4, despite the 2 skaters for Minnetonka. And that's the Berger penalty. So he gets a 10-minute misconduct for the trip from behind. So Berger's down for a while. And they've got another skater in the bin serving his 2 minutes. And then the 10-minute misconduct, another dangerous puck slides across the crease as the Hornets are applying all sorts of pressure in front of Quinn Gergen, last year's MVP of this Gobbler Invitational at Bantam B. And he has mined the net to a tune of 2.5 goals, just shy of 2.5 goals allowed per game in this tournament. 10.5 to go, 50 seconds left in the first power play. And it's cleared out for really the first time by Minnetonka. Played back by Josh Mansky. Mansky, the goaltender, standing tall and mostly white with the green and yellow accents of the Edina Hornets. That pass ahead, slapped away, makes Henry Muehlhausen, track it down and try and push it back. Back to Muehlhausen. He'll send it to neutral ice, looking for the stick of Carlson. 2 wide for Alex Carlson, who's got an assist in this tournament. Dumped down by Gavin Gary. Gary 5 goals and 2 assists. 13 seconds to go in the power play. Minnetonka, once they got that first clear, they have been able to maintain possession and keep Edina out of the zone cleanly. Devin Criswell doing that on the far side for Minnetonka. Near side it comes for Jack Sorum for the Hornets. Pushed ahead onto the stick of Carlson. And now back to 5-on-5 hockey with 9:40 to go in this 12-minute first period. Back along the near side, walled off the boards as Minnetonka tries to get their first push of the game. Burke Sullivan tracked down the puck, but his pass skitters wide, and Danny Marshall turns and comes back up the ice. Soren fires it to the far side, looking for Andrew Joining. Joining able to move it up along the far side boards. Slides across down below the goal line with 9:15 to go. Out of the corner, swept around the goal. Back behind for Wyatt Schmitz. Schmitz playing with Alex Carlson back there on the far side. It'll be Schmitz who walks it behind the net and pokes it back up in front. Marshall slaps that one, deflected out. Coming out of the zone with some possession for Criswell. Criswell moves it towards the middle. That sliding puck intercepted by Edina. Back onto the stick of Jack Sand. He's able to go backwards with it into the corner. It's taken away again, right out in front, and it's Sand off the feed from Harrison Browning as they both played with the puck through the slot, and bang, to the back of the net it goes, and it's Minnetonka who will score first to make it 1-0. A turnover that was definitely forced by Harrison Browning, and it looked like he had possession walking it in, and then was just able to shovel it off to Jack Sand. A lot of movement in there on that puck, but it's Sand who puts it into the back of the net. And with 8:46 to go here in the first, it's Minnetonka. Even strength, avoiding the power play goal. Jack Sand has his second goal of the tournament. And they say unassisted. So we'll go with that with 8.5 minutes to go here in period number 1. And it's Minnetonka, despite the early pressure from Edina. Another shot going in on Gergen. He shovels it aside to the near side. Gavin Gary spins it off the boards. Bangs its way back out to the blue line. Dumped down. Held in by a little glove save there by a defenseman in the Edina zone, or the Minnetonka zone, excuse me. Now Edina brings it back in with 8 minutes to go. Keeping the pressure in despite the change. Puck near side. Bill Martin fires from the blue line. A rising shot that deflected off of Gergen and goes high off the glass. Minnetonka coming back the other way with a 1-0 lead. Trying to work it up to Gavin Gary. He eventually tracks down the puck far side. Bill Martin walling him off there and slamming the puck free off the boards. Edina can work it out of trouble. Back to neutral ice on the stick of Lucas Cole. Cole on the far side, outside the circle with an arm in the air, and Minnetonka able to touch it up, but a penalty upcoming with 7.5 to go. And the hook is going to get Minnetonka shorthanded again. Burke Sullivan. So he'll join Leo Berger, who's still serving out his 10-minute misconduct. And Edina 0 for 1 on the power play so far. They get another opportunity. 3-2 victory in the semis over Stillwater. It was a 3-0 lead that Edina jumped out to, and it wasn't really quite as close as you might think that score indicated as Carlson tracks it down in the corner. He's upended, sliding towards the puck. Springs free to the far side for Criswell. Edina had that 3-0 lead, and the second goal for Stillwater was scored inside the final 50 seconds. So again, yeah, they were 1 goal away from popping it to a tie late, but a lot of the pressure coming in that third as Edina cruised through the first 2 periods of that one and hung on for the 3-2 win. Wyatt Schmitz hangs on to the puck behind the net, centered back along the goal line. Great passing over to the far side, but Ty Bame's shot goes wide. He's got it again at the circle. Little backhanded shovel pass down to the corner. Centered back, sliding across the crease. It goes with 6:40 remaining. Still in the power play with 1:10 left. Puck in behind the net, race to it. Wyatt Schmitz trying to get there and find some free space inside of Tyler Langvin. He walled off a Hornet right on the boards there and allows the puck to spring free. Sand trying to track it down on this near side. Bangs back to Wheaton. Wheaton turning the corner around a defenseman, but Danny Marshall did enough to slow him down. Wheaton's pass back to the middle for Willoughby. Rise Willoughby couldn't control it cleanly, and it ticks off of his stick and forces him to chase after it, try and keep that pressure on. Short-handed pressure with 6 minutes to go and 35 seconds remaining in a power play for Edina. Joing able to move it up ahead. Long pass. Bame tracks it down. Plays it behind the net for Henry Denault. Denault moves it back out to the near side circle. Backhanded shovel pass. Goes across neutral ice to Muehlhausen. Back inside for Joing. Edina works it out with only 5 seconds to go on the power play, and they'll settle for that. So 0 for 2 on the power play. Minnetonka able to kill off a pair. And they have the 1-0 lead here with 5.5 minutes to go. Less than 5.5 minutes remaining. Here in this opening period, a 12-minute frame here with Minnetonka and Edina in the Bantam B Championship of the Gobbler Invitational 2018. That puck saw a lot of traffic and found its way wide of the post. Edina trying to equalize here with all kinds of pressure. They have applied the most of it here in this game. Little floating shot up, trying to hook it around the near side post. Goes awry, and it bangs off the boards and deflects down the ice. Lots of hard work in there. Looked like Danny Marshall, Andrew Holbert, it was Charlie Hotch providing that pressure. tight to the post on the near side. 4:55 to go. Back with the icing the other way. Denault, Holbert, and Simonson all with the 3 goals against Stillwater. Holbert and Simonson each scoring on the power play. Simonson's ended up being the game winner. Meanwhile, for Minnetonka, they held down Edina White offensively and were able to put up 4 goals, which was a bit of a trick, something Edina White had not allowed to that point. Giving up just 5 goals allowed total in their first 3. Here it's Edina Green taking on Minnetonka. Pass right back to the slot. There was a point-blank look for Evan Criswell. It was saved by Josh Mansky. Mansky gives up the early goal, makes a great save there. Here he steers the puck away with the left-hand stick. Wraps around the board, still pressure from Minnetonka. Another hard shot in off the pads of Mansky. Puck still loose and free. Centered again, but controlled by the Hornets. Out of the zone, off the stick of Jack Soren. Through neutral ice, tic-tacs its way to Alex Carlson. Carlson able to dump it down with under 4 minutes to go here in this first period. 1-0 lead. The lone goal of this game belongs to Jack Sand, his 2nd goal of the tournament to go along with 3 assists. Minnetonka bringing it out under the possession of Criswell again. Moves it to the blue line, in some traffic, weaves his way through and loses the puck. A teammate had lost a stick, and that allows Denault to pick it up. Edina plays it over the top of the ref as Bame trying to settle it down after it went over the stripes. Couldn't quite do it. It's cleared right back out. Near side too high for Marshall, finds its way to Joing. On the near side, worked it into the corner. Poked away by Minnetonka. Back to Marshall to hold it in. To Joing outside the circle. 1 extra pass down to the goal line, then back out in front. Bame was sitting there in the crease. Couldn't find it to connect. Coming up on 3 minutes to go. A 1-0 Minnetonka lead here in the first. Bantam B Championship for 2018 of the Gobbler Invitational. Presented by Paradise Rinks. Puck on the near side, played into the zone by Minnetonka, but then it hops up over the stick and head of Gavin Gary. Forcing the Skippers to try and push it back in. Instead, it's the Hornets off the stick of Denault, able to move it down. 2:45 remaining here in this period. Minnetonka scored first. They were tied at 1, though, going into the 3rd period. Now, with 8 minutes left, it was the game winner for Evan Criswell, as here it's William Wheaton on the near side, firing in, and it's actually Harrison Browning on the offering. Criswell had 2. Willoughby and Sullivan checking in with goals in that semifinal game. The only loss for Minnetonka came in the opener, and they scored 3 goals in that game. That would be their lowest scoring output. And they put up 4 against Matamidi in a 4-4 tie and outscored their other 2 opponents 8-1, including a 4-1 victory over Edina White. 2:15 to go. Quick backhand for Lucas Cole, and it's in. All tied up on the break, up ahead to Lucas Cole, and he scores for the first time in the tournament. Just that quick, all that pressure for Edina pays off here with 2:13 remaining. And Cole's knifing backhand ties us at 1 apiece. 2:09 to go. Beating Gergen, last year's Gobbler MVP for Bantam B. Minnetonka, the champs of this tournament a season ago.
Lucas Cole. The assist to number 10, Charlie Hope, and number 15, Andrew Simonson.
Hoke and Simonson. On the assists, first of the tournament for Hoke, second for Simonson. Hoke had 2 goals coming in. Minute 45 to go. Minnetonka is trying to squeak back into the lead as we're tied at 1. Late scoring here for Edina with 1:35 remaining. Deep back in their own end, trying to extract the puck up on the near side. Sorum was able to move it ahead. It goes off of his stick, looking for Carlson, stepping inside a defender. Got it back on the near side for Schmidt. Schmidt fires that shot ahead, and Brock Gergen all the way to the far side of the crease to deflect it away. Less than 80 seconds to go here in the first period. Sorum from the corner, puts it in front. A bounding puck sails wide to the near side. 1:10 to go. Back down the ice, entered into the zone for Burke Sullivan. Sullivan trying to leave it back. Finds Gary, spins, and just sends the puck wide. He had some open net. Couldn't settle enough. Pressure still kept on by Minnetonka. Just knocked in by Brian Anderson up top. Pinned along the near side boards. Anderson at the blue line, able to hold it. Or was he? No, he was not. With 46 seconds to go, it's going to come out of the zone to neutral ice. Minnetonka withstanding a pair of power play opportunities from Edina, only to have an even strength goal tie this game with 2 minutes and 13 seconds to go. Sent to the far side. Bain working up the boards. .20 seconds left as Edina sets up, sends the shot in on Gergen. And they're going to say that's going to come for a faceoff. With 18 seconds to go here in the first. Bantam B championship of the 2018 Gobbler Invitational. 18 seconds left here in the first period here on Youth Hockey Hub. Draw all the way out to the near side from Marshall. He'll wrap it around the boards. Still 10 seconds to work for Edina. A blue sweater surrounding the puck down on the goal line. Still poked free. Somebody stuck their nose in there for the Hornets. And able to at least keep the puck from moving up ice, and that'll get us to the end of the period. A goal apiece at the 4:46 mark to get things started with the scoring for Jack Sand, his second of the tournament. And then with 2:13 to go, Lucas Cole scores his first of the Gobbler, and he makes it 1-1 as we go to the break here on Youth Hockey Hub. Headed to the second period of the 2018 Gobbler Invitational Bantam B Championship, presented by Youth Hockey Hub and Paradise Rinks. J.W. Cox here with you at rink number 1 of the Bloomington Ice Gardens, Bloomington, Minnesota. And we've got Edina Green coming back from a 1-0 deficit against Minnetonka. Tie us up at 1. Second 12-minute period of this contest underway. Right to left will go Edina, attacking against Quinn Gergen on that left side of the big rink here. And Minnetonka, who scored first, nobody though in the first 8 minutes or so of this game, able to beat Mansky for Edina or Gergen. This one's played ahead by Hoke, deflected off the far side boards, sent to the neutral ice for Minnetonka. Turned right back in. It's Hoke again. Hoke around the circle. Centering pass deflected away. Tried to get another centering pass and finally does. This spinorama from Andrew Simonson goes wide. Couple of times. Skaters with chances like that in this game. One each side as this one's played down off the stick of Mansky. To a flying Muehlhausen. Able to send it up the ice, and that was untouched. We'll bring the icing back the other way. Busy weekend leading to more hockey action here in Youth Hockey Hub, and it's that season, so don't forget to always check in with Youth Hockey Hub for live coverage, staff rankings, Stories and trends, all of it throughout the season here on Youth Hockey Hub as we get into the high school season to add to all the rest of the youth hockey that goes on at lower levels. The real meat of the hockey schedule in the calendar year. Started with the opener this weekend. Minnetonka participated in that as the Skippers again have some pressure out in front of Mansky. The puck slides to the far side, taken away by Edina. They'll move it up the ice on the far side, skating in front of their own bench. Worked up ahead by Jack Sorum. Sorum leaves it back outside the circle defensively, ripped away out there by Criswell. Fighting for possession, slips to the middle for Schmitz. He's able to dump it down with Joing. Joing and Schmitz, back to Joing. Near side, looking to pop it out in front. He had Carlson trailing. Couldn't get it to him from the blue line. That offering from Marshall, knocked away. Back to neutral ice. Turned away by Edina and Andrew Hulbert. Hulbert, though, against the change, had nowhere to send it. Fired around the boards on the near side. Back outside the circle it goes. Turned over by Minnetonka to a scoring chance, but it goes wide of Schmitz in the corner. Was dangled out there to him by Denault. Edina, though, keeping the pressure on with Joing on the far side. Neutralized face-off coming up. 9:45 to go here in the second period. Tied at 1. Lucas Cole tied us up after Jack Sand got the scoring started for Minnetonka. Back in the first. Puck rips around the boards on the far side. Brian Anderson had a chance to clear that out. Instead, it stays with Edina. Ty Bain trying to work it back to the blue line to clear things. Muehlhausen sends it right back in. Denault flying around skate-wise, but trying to settle the puck outside the circle. Bain walls off a defender, pops it right back to Denault. Reverses, gives the little shovel pass in front for Joing. He can't fire it home. Puck trickles out, and it's knocked back in by Bill Martin. Still more pressure. Bame's got a chance to turn and have some space. Defense collapses. He'll rotate it over. Joing's floating in the middle. Now he'll go track the puck down in the corner. Bame finds his spot, middle of the ice. Joing off of his stick to Denault. Working the offense here. They can't find a shot, though. Joing looking for Bame. Bame outside a defender. Denault trying to come over late and tap it home. Nobody got the stick on it cleanly. So Minnetonka, just the spacing right there, creating the stop and the takeaway. With 8.5 to go. Can they capitalize and get it out of their end? Owning certain spots on the ice for Minnetonka, and that made sure that the offense didn't have a clear lane towards the net, but Edina's right back on it with possession. Chase down for Brian Anderson. He's walled off by a Hornet on the near side. Puck springs free, back to the goal line. A little lifted shot that time for Lucas Cole, goes too high. Cole looking for his second of the game. He tracks it down in the far side corner. Burke Sullivan, 6 points in the tournament, walling him off on the boards on the far side. Spins around and swept free by Gavin Gary. Gary's offering ends up all the way down the ice. Gary, whose brother was a part of this Bantam B team a season ago, that took home the Gobbler trophy. Long shot outside the circle goes wide. More pressure from Edina. Minnetonka hasn't been out of their own zone an awful long time. Now they do get it to neutral ice, but no further. Puck chipped right back. Langvin able to send it ahead. He finds Leo Berger. Berger moves it up ice, finds Browning. Browning at the blue line. He lost it. Then poked right back down by Criswell, just trying to maintain possession. Edina has been the aggressor despite being down a goal at one point and now just in a 1-1 tie. Edina has certainly been the more aggressive team in this game and owned more possession than Minnetonka has. Right now, they've got it backed up behind their own net. Working it free, far side for Lucas Cole. Cole just to the blue line where the Skippers will hold it in. Coming up on 7 minutes to play. We're in the second period. Browning walled off. Down to the corner it goes as it's popped high off the glass, knocked in by Wheaton. Wheaton uses the high left hand to bat it down. It goes to Danny Marshall for Edina, trying to control it between his skates behind the net as we go under 7 minutes to play. Into the corner, then work back up on the near side boards. Pops all the way down the ice. A little space defensively to work for Will Wheaton. Wheaton moved it up ahead. A little too strong. Leo Berger has to then go chase it down. Against some pressure, so couldn't cleanly get an attack on Mansky. Schmitz looking for the break. Pass up ahead. He's walled off. Hard hit. Taken down by Langvin. Freed from the puck as well as Berger had some time. Sends the pass out of the corner up to Sullivan. Sullivan knocks it ahead past the Edina blue line down towards the corner. Coming up on 6 minutes to go. Puck free for Willoughby. Willoughby scored one in the semifinal victory. He's got it right back to Sullivan, looking to turn the corner. Sullivan now caught up in the corner, needs some help. Gets it from Gary. Make that Criswell as now the puck slides out past the blue line. Minnetonka has to fly to that one as some pressure coming from Jack Sorum. Sorum hunting the puck. He's been doing that all game ever since the opening draw. This puck slapped ahead in front of the bench. He was trying to change, but still able to tip it to Denault. Denault flying past the circles, ends it in front for Boehm. His shot just goes wide. Chipping high off his stick, but he's got it again in behind the goal line. Dumps it up, more pressure from the Hornets with 5.5 to go in this second period, with a 1-1 tie. Outside from Muehlhausen. Muehlhausen works it down to the half wall. Send it out ahead towards the goal line for Denault. Denault will reverse it himself, takes it all the way across. He's got Boehm in the middle. We've seen this formation come away with a number of chances, but Minnetonka has been strong with that positioning on the ice that we talked about. No wide open looks. Denault works it down. Joing back to Denault along the goal line. They'll reverse. Joing tries to turn the corner himself and runs right into Gergen, who stops him up. 4:55 to go with a faceoff coming to the stick side, making the glove side of Quinn Gergen. And we're still tied at 1 here in this Bantam B Championship of the Gobbler 2018. The lone non-victory so far in the first 4 games for Edina, a 1-1 tie against Osseo Maple Grove. All 4 of their games have been tight, decided by a total of 6 goals. That's the math for you, is a goal and a half per game on average, deciding these Edina Green games, as again Gergen forced to clamp down right up against the post. 1-goal game, that 1-1 tie, part of the 4 and the 3-0-1 record for Edina coming into this championship game. 4:35 to go. So Minnetonka can spring free out of the zone. They do. Puck flies behind Browning, though, so he can't control it. Gives Edina a chance. Now Browning's got it. He's got Sand out in front of him in the slot. Sand picks it up with a little shovel pass ahead. Can't control it. Tipped away. 4:20 to go here in this second period. Edina flying back the other way. Not in possession, though, or not with a lane, so Holbert sends it backwards. They'll fly it up the far side boards in front of the benches. Back to the middle of the ice. Past Browning for Minnetonka. Banged up ahead off the boards. Hope tries to track it down. Walls off a Minnetonka skater. Ends up on the ice for his trouble. Puck still freeing up for grabs, but Carlson can't take it in as Hoke recovers. Carlson now will flip it up as everybody touched up, and they'll go for a change instead. Puck flutters to a stop behind the Minnetonka net. Browning tries to get it out. It's deflected. Ends up right in front of the net again. Hacking at it with Gergen sprawled, and eventually the puck called down as Sorum pointing at it like, hey, it's not covered up. It's uncovered right here, and instead it's going to be a penalty. It's going to bring things to a stop. And it's going to be a penalty on Minnetonka and Tyler Langvin. So Edina thought maybe they still had a chance to hack at that puck, and instead they'll get their 3rd power play of the game. First of this period. They're 0 for 2 so far. I believe they called a slash on Langvin. We'll get the confirmation of that. 3:44 to go. Schmitz with it along the goal line. 0 for 2 on the power play so far. Power play goal in their semifinal victory. 2 minutes. As Martin fires one from deep off the pads of Gergen. In front, free pucks past Schmitz. There were 2 defenders right in the air. Martin wants it back. He's got all kinds of space. Fires it through traffic. Initial save made and slapped away from the front of Gergen. Made one save. Teammates got him another. Longvin goal, or the Longvin penalty here. So far, turning into some point-blank shots. Another one there as Gergen steers it away with the pads. Still 2:50 to go in the period. Minute 5 remaining in the power play. Dumped down, the third penalty of the game called against the Skippers. Nothing so far against Edina. Martin from out front sends it down along the goal line. First offering, no, and the second one covered up. It was Carlson who sent it in, and then Schmitz had a second opportunity off the rebound, and Gergen made that save too. Covers it up. Full changes both ways. 49 seconds to go in the power play. Denault in his front line here, who's been able to control some possession, see what they can do on the power play. Holbert has it from the blue line. That puck was tipped in front. Dangerous there. Gergen had a beat on it and somebody's stick deflected it, but fortunately wide. 35 seconds to go. Walked along the goal line by Bame. Bame pushed off of his spot, but plenty of space with the power play opportunity. 5-on-4. Joing to the middle. Back to Holbert. Joing trying to set up. He's also got Denault down there with him. The puck slides past both of them. Joing tracks it down in the corner. 15 seconds. Denault trying to step inside his defender. Lost the puck out to Holbert. Pass back down. Bangs back behind the net. Back to Denault. Denault trying to feed it out in front, and Bame couldn't corral it. Denault again. This one ends up in front, and Joing fires it right into the pad save of Gergen. Gergen standing tall, and that will end the power play. Still possession for Edina. Longvin coming flying out of the box to make it 5-on-5 for a minute 34 here in this second period. Still tied at 1. It's been a scoreless period so far. Edina the best look, not just with that power play, but also with some even strength chances that have been turned away by the Skippers. 80 seconds to go in the second. Back up ice. Possible break. Browning has to catch up to the puck. He'll fire that one just off the pads of Mansky. Mansky's been a spectator for an awful long time here late in this period, but he was right on the spot that time. A little bit of a delayed rush for Browning. Now a long shot. Deflects in behind the net with a minute to go. Browning tracks it down. Off the boards it goes. Puck flying high back below the goal line. Holbert there to track it down. He'll send it up ahead. Held in at the blue line by Lurie. Off the skate of Browning. Ends up back out in front. Sand had a chance at a backhand. Instead it goes to Criswell, who fires it wide. 40 seconds to go. Skippers putting on some pressure of their own. Trying to take a lead back. They led this game at 1-0. It's tied up at 1-1 with 2:13 remaining in the first. We've gone scoreless here so far through 11.5 minutes of the second. Browning from the red line. Right he goes up ahead to Sand. He's got the lone goal off of his stick a little too hard. Tracked down by Muehlhausen. Muehlhausen spins it back into the corner. A chance to clear with 14 seconds to go. Laurie holds it in. Reverses to the far side looking for Criswell. Criswell there. Back to Laurie. Near side. Laurie takes a winding shot that's deflected wide. Still 3 seconds to work. Criswell. He can't find a way to put it on net, and that's how the period will end. It will be scoreless through the second. And these two teams tied at 1. The Bantam B Championship coming right down to it in the third period. Come on back here on Youth Hockey Hub to the Gobbler 2018 presented by Paradise Rinks. Twelve more minutes to try and decide the Bantam B Championship of the 2018 Youth Hockey Hub Gobbler Invitational. presented by Paradise Rinks. It's Minnetonka 1, Edina Green 1. As we go to the third, J.W. Cox with you here at Bloomington Ice Gardens, rink number 1. No scoring there in the second. A power play opportunity for Edina that made them 0 for 3 on the day. They scored the last goal that tied things up with 4, make it 2:13 to go in the first period. And now we're into the third. Right to left will go the Skippers. We'll see if they can solve what has been a pressure-packed attack from the Edina Hornets. They have controlled, or did control, most of that second period. And somehow, the somehow being former MVP Quinn Gergen, and the defense of Minnetonka came away without a goal. Mansky, we called him a spectator at times. He made a couple of late saves in that second period to keep us tied at 1. But again, that pressure keeping him clean more often than not. Here comes Edina, flying it out of their zone with Schmitz. Schmitz, he'll take that shot. Had some net to work with, but I think Gergen was confident there. And how much reaction time he'd have from wide outside of the circle with that shot coming. Puck sneaks out past the blue line, turns into a break up ahead for Minnetonka. Skippers working with Sullivan, who's pushed. And some kind of interference, maybe a hook. Yep, it's an interference. And for the first time, we've got a penalty coming up on the Edina Hornets. And Minnetonka will try and make some hay out of the Bill Martin penalty for interference with 10:52 to go. See if they can take a lead. Criswell will take the opening draw. Their first power play opportunity. Lurie dumps it back down, looking for Sand. Sand will track it down, playing there with Criswell. Criswell dumping it to the far side goal line. Worked around off the stick of Browning. Browning settles with it after his spin. He's going to get it down to Criswell. Criswell lost that puck. Somebody lost a stick, and a little helter-skelter to stop this power play, or start this power play. All even strength goals in their semifinal victory for Minnetonka. And icing here with 1:37 to go with a man advantage. 10.5 minutes remaining in this game. Criswell, 3 goals in the tournament. The goal tonight, Jack Sand scoring his second to get the scoring started with 4:46 to go in the first. And then Lucas Cole tied us up, both at even strength. That one came 2 minutes and 33 seconds later. And we've been tied since then. The 2-minute mark of period number 1. 1:28 to go. Another draw coming this time to the left-hand stick side of Josh Mansky. Puck pops back out. Brock Fosling for Minnetonka playing on the blue line here on this special teams unit. Anderson check that, Brian Anderson, is on the other side. He tried to get it over to Fosling. Popped out of the zone. So the Skippers touch up, allows Edina to pick it up with 1:05 to go. Shorthanded back the other way comes Ty Bame, and instead of pushing the issue, he'll dump it down and let Simonson see what he can do to push the issue 1-on-5. 55 seconds to go. Simonson proving pesky enough, but Minnetonka brings it out. That pass tipped away by Lucas Cole, who came in off the bench. Now fly up the far side for Gary. Gary and William Wheaton. Look at Sullivan looking to get it ahead. There's Berger in front of the net with Sullivan crashing on the rebound chance. No chance against Mansky. Longvin pushed it to the far side. Still Skippers in the zone, so they had to clear it out. And we'll get a neutralized face-off. No, we'll get a face-off and a penalty coming up. Check that. No penalty. Draw to the stick side of Gergen. 20 seconds to go. 9:10 remaining in the game on this penalty for Minnetonka. Edina is 0 for 3 on the power play. Minnetonka about to go 0 for 1 unless they can change it here quick in the final 10 seconds. Wheaton through some traffic, dumps it for Browning. It's a stick loose on the deck. It's a Edina Hornet stick, and it belongs to Andrew Joing. He's still trying to get into the play. Stick right in the middle of the slot there, and Joing now has a chance to pick it up as back to full strength goes Edina there, now at full strength. So able to bring him in off the bench. It's Jack Sorum to get back into the action. So the teams that combined 0 for 4 on the power play, and we stay tied at 1 with 9.5 minutes, make it 8.5 minutes to go here at the Bloomington Ice Garden. Bantam B, top level of the Gobbler for 2018 championship game between Minnetonka and Edina. Popped up ahead, out past the blue line it goes. Longvin trying to hold it in. Instead it slips back to Browning, and he'll have to work it backwards. Longvin back to neutral ice. It's intercepted by Holbert. Holbert has to wait. He walks along the blue line, fires a long curving shot that Gergen stays right with and knocks down, keeps it in play. Back out to the blue line, passed it for Marshall. Marshall had it trickle into the zone and deemed to still have possession there as another teammate was in the zone early with 7:56 to go here in this third period. Edina and Minnetonka. It's Edina green making their way here, one of the two Edina units to the Gobbler in 2018. And tipped puck taken away. Bill Martin tries to turn the corner, and he has it taken right back by Minnetonka. Skippers quickly get it up ahead. Willoughby trying to work through neutral ice with the help of Berger. They can't do it. Edina takes it back. Pushed right out of the zone as nobody wants the puck too much. Neither team spending much time in their offensive end so far here over the last couple of minutes. Now it's a chance for Sullivan along the far side boards, working it back out past the blue line it goes. Instead it's Sorum for Edina, steps out in front of a defender, fires that shot, and it just sailed on him. Looking for the top shelf rather, and he couldn't quite put it in. And with 7:10 to go, we stay tied at 1 despite that good look. Berger near side of the ice, had some space. That closed out quickly as Bame knocked him off his skis. Denault trying to track it down at the near side circle. Back to Martin. Neutral ice, he'll dump it in. Allows Minnetonka to get down there, but Ty Bame is actually one of the first to the puck to try and hold it in for Edina, working against Tommy Lurie. Lurie's played a good defensive hockey game so far for Minnetonka. Criswell moving up ice with Browning on the far side. Browning dumped it ahead. He'll chase after it, hoping Criswell can provide some pressure too. Joing is right there for Edina instead to work it to the boards. Fossling sends it in from the blue line, and it's covered up with some pressure coming by Mansky. And so the Skippers earn a face-off with 6:27 to go here in this third period. We're getting awful close here. This next goal wins territory. Not quite there yet, but the way this game has gone, will we have a flurry late, or will it just take one more? Sand has the lone goal for Minnetonka. He's hacking at it. Puck springs free out of the corner just for a moment. Sand had it, able to shovel it back behind him to Criswell. Centering pass with nobody home. Browning was crashing late, but he was walled off by Sorum. Edina able to move the puck out of the zone, past Cole behind him, so he's got to track it down. It's well past the goal line by the time he does. Longvin walls him off, bumps him off the puck, springs it free in the corner, but Edina still controls. Coming to the near side post, tried to put it right back for Cole. Never made its way to his stick. Held in at the blue line, stick and a skate, doing that work on the far side. Bumped down, Charlie Hoke. Hoke still fighting for possession. Minnetonka bangs it off the boards on the far side. Muehlhausen does a good job to hold it in at the blue line, and then it's ripped right past him as he started to crash with 5.5 minutes to go in a 1-1 tie. Nobody scored in more than a period plus since there were 2 minutes left in the first. Sando, opportunistic chance right in front as it was a gift given, and he dumped it to Leo Berger, who fires it wide. Back to the blue line. Fossling in for Sullivan. Sullivan can't corral it. Lurie comes in firing from the blue line, and he bangs it off the pads of Mansky for the save. Out it comes on the near side for Hoke. Hoke flying in on 5 defenders. It's tapped down. Carlson there to follow. Carlson from the slot takes the shot. Saved by Gergen. Gergen still on his toes as Edina keeps the pressure on with Sorum. And now they can settle back defensively. Rushing to both ends, and a great opportunity for Alex Carlson and a better save from Gergen. On the far side, the puck pinned against the boards. Edina getting back to that second period look where they had all the pressure. 4:40 to go. Somebody's got to do it to find a goal. Marshall at the blue line. He's waiting for that to spring free, and instead it stays stymied down in front of him inside the circle. Minnetonka off the glass and out of the zone. Force Marshall to track backwards with it. Put it into the skates of Sorum. He couldn't cleanly pick it up, but he finds Carlson. Carlson tries to scissor kick inside a defender there. Can't quite do it. The puck slips away off his stick, and down the ice it goes. Holbert tracks it down. No icing with Browning charging in. Gary's right there too. Gary can keep it. Browning wants position in front of the net. He's getting shoved from behind. Gary sends it out to the blue line. Puck fired in. Hops under the skate of Browning and goes wide. Wheaton after it against 3 Edina defenders. Push back up. Criswell at the blue line. Sends a floating puck in. It deflects off a hand of an Edina Hornet, and it's knocked home by Browning for a 2-1 lead. All kinds of traffic. Mansky moving to his left. The puck deflects to his right. And Browning, who had been working hard to be positioned in front of the net, that work pays off. He's able to sweep it past the goal line before Mansky could get back on his skates. So with 3:50 to go, the slimmest of margins now belongs to Minnetonka. Browning with his first goal of the tournament. What a big moment. Skipper's looking for more quickly.
For the Skippers, number 28, Harrison Browning.
Edina scored.
Number 13, Evan Criswell.
Criswell giving the assist. Gary keeps the pressure on. Blocker save from Mansky, steering it to the left side. Edina scored under 2 minutes, rather 2.5 minutes after Minnetonka did in the first period. Skipper's trying to keep that from happening again with all the pressure this Edina Hornet squad can put on you, though. They're always in danger. Puck flutters high, knocked down on the near side by Gary. Inside of 3 minutes to go, the championship game of Bantam B. Swing it around on the far side. Puck pops high off of Mansky. Settled down for no one in particular, but Edina able to move it out to the far side boards. Held in. Berger knocks it ahead off the pads of a teammate. Deflects back towards him and out of the zone. Here comes Lucas Cole. Cole trying to split a couple of defenders. Instead, tried to shovel the pass to the far side. It was intercepted. 2.5 minutes to go. Marshall skating backwards towards his own blue line. Able to just maintain it enough to get it ahead to Simonson, who dumps it into the zone. Nobody home but Longman. Teams are combined 0 for 4 on the power play, but 2 even strength goals for Minnetonka have them up 2-1 with 2 minutes and 5 seconds remaining. Marshall misplayed off the heel of his stick. No damage there as he sends it out to neutralize Criswell. He was able to go in on sides with Berger flying out, but that thought made him lose the puck to Edina. Near side, Sorum was open. It's taken away by Wheaton. Puck still free in the Minnetonka zone. And the whistle is going to bring it out to neutral ice with 1:50 to go. A 2-1 lead. That would have been interesting. Jack Sorum. The puck was headed his way. He was center of the circle, headed towards the net. And the deflection from Will Wheaton. Draw spins back into the Edina zone. 1:45 to go. Carlson works it ahead past Browning. Sorum stays onside there with Schmitz into the zone with him. Tracks it down in the corner. 95 seconds to go here in this one. Schmitz playing it on the far side. Hornets had an answer in the first. Do they have an answer in the final 90 seconds? Kicked out of the zone that time by Criswell. Edina touches up. Back in it comes from Mulehausen. Worked on the near side. Puck floating outside the circle. Settled in. No panic here with 1:10 to go. Down by a goal in the corner. Goalie's going to come off on the far side. Mansky is to the bench. Right as Minnetonka takes possession, sends it down the ice and just wide. It'll turn into an icing. It's going to work out well for Edina. So they pull the goaltender. They didn't actually have the extra attacker on yet. As the shot goes down. And Quinn Gergen's going to be on the spot. He was the MVP of this tournament a year ago, and he's trying to will his team to another win, their third of this season and this edition of the Gobbler Invitational. But this one would be for the championship. Edina, long shot in front of Gergen, bangs off his pad, still loose. Popping out free of the circle. Mulehausen settles, takes it down below the goal line. 37 seconds to go. It's Denault, 6 on 5 right now with the goalie pulled on the other end to our left. Gergen watches that deflected puck go in front of him and slide to the near side. Edina keeping the pressure. Now the puck slides out of the zone. It will make its way just to the goal line, but Edina has to go get it anyway, so you avoid the icing. Time wasted with 14 seconds to go. Denault up the far side. He's walled off with 10. Right in front of the Minnetonka bench. All sorts of collisions going on. Denault chips it ahead with 5, with 4, with 3. Minnetonka with some possession with 2, with 1, and that will do it. Minnetonka with a goal in the final 4 minutes. The champions of the Gobbler Invitational once again here in 2018. The winning goal for Harrison Browning, scored with 3:50 to go. The only goal we had in the final 2 periods. And it's Browning, Gergen, and company who will beat Edina Green with a 2-1 win here in the championship. Your only goal for Edina, Lucas Cole back in the first. And the first goal for Minnetonka came off the stick of Jack Sand. We'll have the trophy presentation for Minnetonka and Edina. Edina, the runners-up, a great tournament and a great game. Certainly entertaining hockey over the last 2 periods. But Browning's goal was deflected off the hand of an Edina defender. Becomes your difference in this 2-1 final. Bantam B champs, Minnetonka. They sent 2 teams here in the Gobbler to the championship round. And they'll come away with one of them being crowned champs. And they'll do it here at Bantam B.
If both teams could head to the blue lines for a quick trophy ceremony. Congratulations to both teams on a wonderful tournament. What a wild and wacky Bantam B. We had tiebreaker crazy in 2 of these brackets over the evening, over last night, and then today was no shortage of excitement, a game-winning goal in the last couple of minutes. Before we hand out the run-up trophies, I'd like to just say a couple of nice words about some players and the coaches. First, a shout out to John Gary and Jeff Sorum, the head coaches of these teams, and their assistants. They spend a lot of time, they don't get paid a lot of money to coach a game that they love and coach a great group of kids. A quick side note, just so the parents out there can hear this story. Right before we were picking up the pucks, both groups of kids, like they were like best friends, backyard mates, were wishing each other luck from Minnetonka and God. You don't see that every day. So shout out to the kids and shout out to the parents for raising some good kids. On the Edina side, Henry Denault had a great tournament. We got to meet him after the semifinal today. Jack Sorum had a great tournament. Big Ty Bev had a good tournament. In the nets today, Rowan Mansky played 2 great games. Shout out to you guys for great tournaments. Over on the Minnetonka side, Quinn Gergen, another great tournament, another big championship win. Congratulations to you. Burke Sullivan had 7 points. And a kid named Gavin Gary's older brother, Will, won the tournament last year. Not only did he win it today, but he's going to win the MVP. Come forward, Gavin, and win again. Will Edina please come forward to accept their 2nd place trophy. Congratulations, guys, on a great tournament. And now, the champions of the 2018 Gobbler, the Minnetonka repeat skippers, please come forward.
Tony called them the repeat skippers, and they do it again at Bantam B. Minnetonka, the champions of the 2018 Gobbler Invitational. Congrats to Minnetonka winning the Bantam B, and on the other side, it was Osseo Maple Grove taking home the Pee Wee Championship. Thanks so much for tuning us in here on Youth Hockey Hub. This has been the 2018 Gobbler Invitational, presented by Paradise Rinks. Good night, everybody.